Yes, we can start.
Okay. So, hello everyone, this is Ananya Vaklikar. Welcome to this week's Socratic Dialogue. Today's topic would be yeah. This week's topic will be mathematical thinking, logic patterns, and proof that can shape business decisions. So, we'll see how structured reasoning help us make better choices and design systems and solve real problems in the organization.
Before we start with the introductions, before we start with the discussion, can the team go forward with the introductions?
Hello everyone, this is Vibhor Mehra. I'm the coach of Team Delta Thinkers and I'm a business growth analyst at Deep Thought.
Hello everyone, this is Tanishka. I am from Team Delta Thinkers and I am at data. एक second.
Hi everyone, I'm Mariam from Team Constructive Minds and I'm an AI content creator from TLS Lab.
Hi everyone, I am from Team Delta Thinkers. I am a data champion in Deep Thought.
Hello everyone, I'm Nitish from Team Constructive Minds and I am business growth analyst in Lab Newton.
Hello everyone, I'm Anushri Soni. I am in Team Constructive Minds and I am a data champion in Deep Thought.
Thank you everyone for your introduction. Which team would like to go first for your pitch?
Team Delta Thinkers would like to go first for the pitch.
Thank you, Team Delta Thinkers. Before you begin, could you give us 1 minute summary of your pitch? Also, we'd love to hear what inspired your team name, Delta Thinkers.
Absolutely. We are Delta Thinkers, where every thought leads to a change. Just like the symbol delta, we believe that mathematics transforms the way that we think. For us, maths isn't just numbers, it's actually the art of thinking which leads to transformation in us. So yeah, that was the summary of the team name and what we are about to present to all of you guys. I would like to have Tanishka to start with the pitch. And yes, just sharing the screen. 1 second.
Yeah. So yeah, as Vibhor said earlier, mathematics isn't just about proofs or numbers. It shapes the way how we think. See, intuition fills the gap between logic, but the logic comes before intuition. So the message here is basically that businesses thrive on logic, math, and pattern recognition, and instead of relying just on instinct. So here every customer leaves some clues like footprints. We can compare them to patterns. If we trace these footprints, these patterns lead us to somewhere, and we understand where people are actually drawn to. So there are some small habits like how people have their behavior or shopping habits that reveal hidden patterns, and maths helps us decode these hidden patterns in shaping other businesses' growth. Now I would like Vibhor to continue.
Yes. So probability is the art of managing risks. One thing I'll tell you, life is full of maybes. We cannot be 100% sure in everything, but you can smartly guess by taking the help of maths. That's actually called a probability, which is to weigh the right options in a correct manner to get the safest and optimal results out of it. And yes, we have also this slide that is logic over luck. Sometimes success looks like luck, but it's often logic. It's about logic. Is about reasoning through patterns and their probable cause effects. In business, logic turns random success into a repeatable strategy, which will be helpful in further execution. I would like to have Aditya Chauhan over the next slide.
Thank you. There's a relation between proofs and performance. In math, a proof shows something that is always true. It is almost certain. But in business, there's some difference in proofs. A proof might be the data that shows how an idea works again and again. Like if you lower the delivery time of an app, customer happiness increases, and that's your proof. And it's concrete. Go to the next slide. So in conclusion, we use instead of actually going with your gut feeling or actually thinking that this idea might be right, we use logic, look for patterns, and ask for proof. Our decision becomes clearer, and stronger. Thank you.
Yes, that would be all from Team Delta Thinkers.
Over to team constructive mind for their questions.
So, in first slide, you mentioned that we would want to use logic and maths to start with our decisions, rather than and not give that much base to instinct. But people have also built instinct over the years, like business owners, they have built instinct. So, how would you want to incorporate that in decision making?
Well, I
See,
would
there is
say
a
the instinct came from logic. That experience over the years, but that's because they have built immense logic, and whatever they are doing is actually has some logic behind them. They are not irrational. If
They're
that
able
answers
to
the
see
question.
they're able to see the patterns over time, which are like recognizable over the experience that they've gained, and from that experience and patterns, they're able to predict what is going to happen next, and that is called the instinct. What you're talking about, that is essentially based upon the logic that they've gained over the years.
Does that
Does
answer
that
your
answer your
question?
question?
Yes. Thank you.
I have a question. Most of the people before starting becoming entrepreneurs or start doing startups, they obviously analyze their business, calculate the risk to the probability, but then also most of them fails. Startups have a high probability of failing. So how are we still saying that probability saves us and prepares us for what our next move will be when actually the outcome is just failing?
Well, for that, I can say that if you see a startup failing, it actually might not be lack of logic or lack of proofs. It actually might be lack of experience because like running a startup needs some experience, and they might lack them. That's
market
my
ma- Market demands and trends change are fluctuate really very quick, and nobody has that instinct as to what rate are they changing to. And most of the startups have this tendency that they are based on a you know on one mindset, and they continue to have that startup over the same mindset and not adapting themselves to the fluctuating demands and trends. Maybe that is the bottleneck where they lack, and that might be the reason which they fail. But they actually use logic, but that logic is not applied in a correct manner or method. That might be the reason for that. That logic is outdated for them.
So, what role is probability playing in all of this? Is it still worthy to do that when you are
Yes,
doing
exactly.
a start?
See. The factors for the failure of that startup, the factors, that we have to study, and based on that factors, how much our company or startup is developing methods or systems to tackle those you know, factors. Let's say this thing, the Nokia thing, they had that mentality of not adapting and staying with that, that keypad wala dabba. Everyone will be using that only, and they'll not be shifting to smartphones. And they thought that smartphones won't be working, and what happened to them. They didn't stay for the market in the market very long, and the smartphone took over. That was because they thought that the probability of having smartphones and everyone using it is very low, which the opposite of which actually happened. And the results you can see. Nokia is nowhere to be seen right now. Not many people use their phones. Actually, less than 2% of the market uses that. So yeah, that can be an example of how probability can be taken wrong somewhere. And yes, does that answer your question?
But don't you think that most of the startups only originate because they are innovating something or working on something that is already in trend?
See, the success rate of a startup does not include only one factor. There are more than 1,000 factors. The market, the product they're making, the features they're making, the marketing, the operations, the execution. There are a lot of factors, and if any one of them is not in place now or is not working, the startup would fail. Like uh, one example,
Got
Karan
your point.
also took maybe yesterday, that was Prolific or some company name he took, which was initially a partner of Deep Thought, but they actually failed because that government thing. He took that example that uh, they were having a really good execution in helping the farmers, and that income would be untaxable, and people outside that company would put that money into that bank, and they would get that additional 10% revenue out of it, ROI, 10% ROI out of that. But that government factor came in, and they told that company that this is illegal. They didn't think of this factor, and its probability was really high, but they didn't know about it. So it's just about knowing and not knowing what's gonna work or what's not.
Understood.
Yeah. Any more questions?
Okay, we can move to team constructive mind for the fit.
Yeah, I'll start.
You can start by your 1 minute summary for the pitch, and then the name. Why did you name your team as constructive mind?
Okay, so our pitch is about how real learning happens when we actively build understanding together, not just remember facts. Just like in maths, when we see symbols or formulas for the first time, which may be overwhelming at first, but once we see lots of examples, then those abstractions starts to make sense. And also, we chose this name because it reflects the true essence of learning and thinking. And the team name, Constructive Minds, has derived from the word constructivism, which is basically learning by making sense. We don't just read or memorize, we understand by connecting new ideas to the ideas that we already know. We'll move on to the next slide now. Now, constructivism is the idea which was proposed by Jean Piaget and Vygotsky. Jean Piaget said that learning starts in our own mind through self-exploration and self-discovery, which is called individual constructivism. Vygotsky, on the other hand, believed in social constructivism, who said that learning happens by discussion, questionings, and understanding others' points of view. This comes under social constructivism. And we'll move on to the next slide. Yeah, the big idea, which is we understand not by memorizing, by making sense. And even this Socratic dialogue that we're doing is solely based on the idea of questioning, understanding, so that we can understand collaboratively. Now, Anushri will take over.
Okay, so every business follows pattern. Some help it grow, while some may hold it back. When we take our time to notice those patterns, that's when we start improving our process and strategies. Tracking those patterns helps us to act early rather than just reacting to them later. Moving forward, but even with clear patterns and management, risk just never disappears. So for this, we bring probability in our perspective. We prepare ourselves for the outcomes that are out there and still to come, rather than just hoping that things go right. In this manner, we can also turn some of our uncertainties into upcoming opportunities. Now, Mariam will continue.
Often teams celebrate success without realizing what really caused it. But lasting growth comes when we understand why something worked. Logic helps us spot real reasons and make success reliable instead of accidental. Moving on. Um, in maths, a proof shows something that is true through evidence. In our work, our proof is the data and results that back our decisions. When we rely on logic and validation instead of opinions, we build trust and confidence in what we do. Proof isn't about being right once, it's about staying right because our reasoning holds up. To conclude, mathematical thinking isn't about numbers, it's about clarity. Using logic and proof helps us make better decisions and reduce confusion. This mindset helps us turn our project into a chance to refine how we think and how we improve our work.
Thank you, Team Constructive Mind. Over to Team Delta Thinkers for the question.
Yes, Mariam. I would. Okay,
Yes.
Aditya,
No,
you
no,
may
no,
go.
no.
Huh?
You go. I'll wait.
Okay. So, Mariam, can luck be repeated or designed mathematically? It's a question that I want to ask.
Well, one way one place we actually see luck is through games in circuses and fairs when we throw dice and we expect them to turn a certain number. We use probability in that. So essentially, we can create a formula for luck where we take in all the possible things that can happen and we analyze them and create a formula so as to create that luck for each time we need it. Does that make sense?
All right. Okay.
Okay, guys. So you said that the problems can be solved through like through proofs or mathematics. Can every problem in a business be solved through maths or proofs?
So essentially, the idea is not that it can be solved through mathematics as this is one tool. Mathematics, we are using proof here as a mindset and mind frame to create a way for functioning. So we create this idea where we use logic so as to move forward with our businesses. That is why they're successful.
Adding on to this, there are like these three tools: analytics, automation, and logical thinking, which are derived from mathematics only, but are used in like market everywhere. So I think they are somehow backing up the process of solving every problem that is out there by analyzing the data, creating processes for it. So yeah, indirectly we can say that mathematics is somehow solving all the problems of a business.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my question is, does logical thinking and creative thinking go hand in hand, or do you think they hamper each other?
I believe that logical thinking comes after the creative part. Once you have an idea of innovating something, building something, that is when you start analyzing the logical part, that if it's even possible or not, if it will provide me some profit or not. So thinking is not restricted. Creative thinking is not restricted, but on the other hand, logical is somehow restricted because it's dependent on an idea, dependent on a process of what we are going to analyze with it. So they go hand in hand when done for a similar idea. But yeah, creative thinking might add some blockers when we are thinking of it as a business perspective.
So basically, what Anushri is trying to convey is that they don't have to conflict. I mean, logic can guide creativity by helping testing ideas systematically and creatively, so that we have a great space to test some ideas and then logically evaluate them, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So my question is risk taking without the actual backing of maths or backing of proofs a similar form of gambling or intuition?
Can you like please elaborate a bit?
Like supposedly a company is willing to take a risk without actually any proofs or without any logic. The managers or the CEO just had some intuition that it's gonna be all right or it will be all right. So is it like a similar form of gambling or intuition?
Okay, so simplify the question. I would say that is relying on math, logic, or proof in business, just like is this just like a form of gambling or intuition, right? So that is the question. I hope the
I
question.
think in today's world, it's gambling only when we are not analyzing the data, even though we have all the tools and techniques to do that.
Okay.
Can
Also,
intuition ever replace logic in decision making? Routine constructive minds. My question is,
Not
intuition can
not
intuition
really, because I
okay.
think that even though it might prove as a luck that your idea is successful, but in a
Mhm.
longer run, you should be aware of all the process that you need to create of what is yet to come. And that can only be done by implementing logical thinking over the past ideas or over the past process. Like for being prepared for what is yet to come, you need to analyze things. You need to implement the logical thinking that cannot be run just by luck or by intuition.
But I suppose the intuition that is built on the past records of like quite a long bit of time, that can also be helpful in getting the results right. Suppose somebody is doing stock trading, okay, and वो पिछले from the last 5 years he's saying कि at the end of December every year the market is falling, so you have to take money out of it at the year end, and he does not have a certain logic. मतलब he has seen this trend, but he can assume that कि every year this happens, and he's doing this from past 6 years. ठीक है ना? And he didn't take out his money from the last 5 years. Do you think that in the sixth year he'll take out his money, or will he like he'll put
We
his
are
money
playing
in the
probability here. It's not intuition. It is somehow backed up with data that in 5 years that
But
that thing
see,
happens, so I can suppose the 60th May it will happen or not
this
happen.
is this is what I'm telling na ki intuition without in a written form or without being tracked, like intuition is that. And if it is tracked and got it into something written form and kind of a language, and it is standardized, it becomes logic, or or it can be called a proof or a theorem, kind of that. What is theorem or proof or logic? It's just a written form of what intuition or what logic we have uh, like made up in our minds, right? It is a written expression of it. If it is
I
not written.
think intuition is something that will be like I woke up tomorrow and I'll go ki aaj I need to do like I need to start a business today. I need to implement my idea today without backing up with any data and doing any research. Something that is written on the paper, it
Mhm.
actually will be in your mind somehow. You will be analyzing it in your mind somehow. So I don't think that will be intuition. Intuition is like that just comes with a click. Yeah, I'll do this, I'll not do this.
Okay, as far as I see, intuition also comes with a small bit of data backing. Might not be in your case, but I think in that perspective. Yeah. Okay.
I think to better put it, Vibor,
Yeah.
when we are handling a business, a human creates a balance of, when we have intuition created with the backing of experience, we also take that into consideration, and then we move forward and build on it by logic and data. So that is why how we can actually make decisions that are more efficiently made.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
So I think that is
So
how, we can balance and integrate intuition.
Got it. Got it.
I,
Got it.
as you said, Mariam, if there is a conflict between the intuitional logic and the logical thinking, if the decision being made, what would you rely on?
So if I have an intuition, okay, so tomorrow my stocks may fall. Now, I think when we are talking about intuition, intuition is generally about how our unconscious and subconscious minds take things into consideration, our previous knowledge, and we come up with a inference based on that. So we can, if we have an intuition that something may happen, we can, try searching for data to better make decisions. So we can back it up with data and logic.
Right, but
Does
what
that,
if the data logic is conflicting the intuitional thinking?
well, then you can analyze, why you are thinking, why this thought has come to your mind, why this intuition is there, and you can build on it. And if you feel that, okay, my gut may be wrong in you have a lot of data backing it up, you can, choose that data, but it doesn't happen that way in life generally, because our gut, as we say, the gut feeling or the sixth sense is essentially, there are facts and data that back it up. Does
I
that
think it
answer the question?
also depends on what is on value. Like if it's my business, I won't be really going with just intuition. I would look out for the data, the logical thinking part. But if it's something like, should I go out today? Will it rain or not? If my intuition says go out, I will go out. I believe it's more of what is on value. And as Mariam said that, it's your gut feeling and you should rely, well, people should consider relying on it. So adding on to it, but is also known as second brain of a human. So yeah, it actually works somehow.
Does that answer your question, Tanishka?
Yes.
That will be from our side, Ananya.
Okay, can we have reflections from each team about what you learned about implementing the mathematical logic in business? Who would like to go first for the reflection?
Okay, I'd like to share a reflection. From today's SD, I got to realize that intuition's definition is different for different people. Uh, as I thought that it's just something that we can wake up and think about, it's not like that. As before said, that somehow internally in our systems, we are analyzing that data, and it is what giving us the intuition that okay, this might work. So this is something new, a new perspective that I will think from now onwards, that okay, if I'm having something intuition, so that is somehow backed up by some data in my mind.
Thank you, Anushri. Who would like to go next?
I'll go next. Yeah, so from this, I learned that there are ways which we can follow to help our organization grow. Uh, there can be intuition as well, and there can be proofs as well. And it's it's better to go with proofs because that helps our team members getting aligned with each other. So yeah.
Thank you, Nitish. Who would like to go next?
I would like to go next. I think one major perspective that I gained from this Socratic dialogue was intuition and logic must have the right balance, because somehow intuition is also based on subconsciously analyzed data. So we should find the right balance in between them and then make our decisions thoughtfully.
Thank you, Tanishka. Can we have two more reflections from the people who attended Meta SD? Aman, your audio is on. Can we have two more reflections? What did you learn about how the mathematical thinking would shape the business decisions? What do you think about the logic patterns and the proof? How do they influence the future impacts?
I think the proofs and the mathematical logic just sums up to bringing unstructured thoughts and ideas into a structured pattern and making some result, impact, or outcome out of it. And that too, that helps or is in interest of the business or any organization that we're in.
Right, Vibhu. Thank you. Who'd like to go next?
I want to share my idea. Like what I understood that how this mathematics is important for any decision making, because we know that our like human brain is tend to make decisions or believe in some thoughts if we get some solid proofs, and these solid proofs when it comes in terms of logic and numbers, so it reflects our mind very well. So we can understand that it's happening, or yes, there is the flaws. So this mathematical proofs captures our mind map very well, and so we can take legitimate actions upon this. So that is why maths and logics are indivisible part of our thinking. We cannot separate those whenever we want to take some decisions, because on proof or on evidence we always reach to a concrete decision. That is important.
That was a great explanation, Sachintika. Thank you for that. Thank you for the reflection. Is there someone else who would like to share their thoughts about the SD?
You
Yeah,
want to share?
sure. Yeah, you go ahead. Very
Okay, so I think I learned a lot of things today in my SD session. So my reflection is, I think mathematical logic in business refers to the systematic application of mathematical principle, like, and logical reasoning. We can say that it be accurate data-based decision. We find the accuracy, right? If we use the data, if we use mathematical formulas and logical reasoning, that will help me to identify and measure performance using financial ratio, right? And forecast future outcome using statistical, right? So that will be also help me to grow business. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sachin. Yes, Devanjana, you can go next.
Yeah, sure. Actually, everyone has given their amazing reflections. So, on the similar note, I just want to add one more thing that at a very first glance, it feels like the mathematics and intuition are the two parts of a coin. But after attending today's session, what I realized that when you tend to train your brain mathematically to pursue the patterns, you actually help your intuitions to be more accurate, because after all your intuition is actually subconsciously guided by your own logic, so thus it will help you a lot. That's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you, Devanjana. Thank